The universe is enormous, hundreds of billions of galaxies, each with hundreds of billions of stars, each star statistically with a fair chance of planet. Yet silence, no signal, no contact, no nothing, not even one confirmed transmission in all of recorded history from anyone out there. Physicist Enrico Fermi looked at these numbers over lunch one day and asked the only reasonable question: where's everybody? That question still doesn't have an answer yet, but I think the silence might be telling us something we'd rather not hear. This is the Fermi paradox, the staggering mismatch between how likely intelligent life should be statistically and how completely silent and absent it appears to be observationally. There are dozens of proposed explanations. Maybe life is rarer than we think. Maybe intelligence is rarer than we still think. Maybe civilizations destroy themselves before they ever reach the stars, what's grimly called the Great Filter, by the way. Some barriers so difficult to pass that almost nothing gets through. Reminds me of my life. Most explanations treat this silence as a problem to be solved, a gap in the data, a filter we need to identify and avoid. Here's a different way to look at it. What if the silence isn't an obstacle? What if it's the mechanism itself? Consider what loneliness actually does to an organism, not metaphorically, but biologically. Loneliness floods the body with cortisol, with stress, it disrupts the sleep, it raises inflammation, and so on and so on. Evolutionarily, it exists for one reason: to make isolation unbearable enough that you do something about it. Loneliness isn't a malfunction, it's a propulsion system. It's the nervous system screaming at you: this state is unsustainable, move toward connection or face consequences. Now zoom out, all the way out. What if the silence works on civilizations the same way loneliness works on individuals? Not as evidence that we're alone, but as pressure that's unbearable, because unbearable is what gets a species off its own planet. If contact came easily, if the universe were chatty and crowded and full of waving hello, that would be awful, absolutely awful. I'm sorry, Star Trek guys. There would be no ache, no urgency, no reason to build the rockets, to build the telescope, decode the signal, and so on. The silence might be the great filter and the propellant at the same time. The very thing standing in our way is also the thing pushing us forward, just the regular, as per usual. Now, I think that this works the same way at the scale of one person. The loneliness you feel isn't proof that something is wrong with you or about you. It's not a signal that you failed at connection. It's pressure, old biological, non-negotiable pressure built into you for one purpose: to make isolation costly enough that you reach, that you call, and so on, that you show up even when it's easier not to do so. The civilizations that stay quiet on their home planet, they don't survive that great filter. And the people who let loneliness sit, they don't tend to thrive either, most of the times, in my experience. The egg isn't the enemy, the egg is the instruction. So maybe the universe isn't silent because we are insignificant. Maybe it's silent because silence is exactly what forces a species to stop sitting still. And maybe the same is true for you tonight in whatever quiet room you're in. The loneliness isn't where you're stuck, it's rather where you're supposed to start moving. If the universal silence is a filter, what's yours? What's the thing pushing you to finally move? Tell me in the comments below. Cheers.